Dominic here, back with the Overhead Athletic Institute. Today we're going to talk about subacromial impingement, what causes it, and how to fix it. Let's get into it. When we talk about subacromial impingement, we're talking about the supraspinatus tendon, which is the tendon right here, getting impinged or kind of getting pinched under that acromion on the top of the head of the shoulder. This can be caused from a slew of different aberrations or aberrant movements. It can be caused from certain positions you're putting your arm in during the throw. It can be caused from muscular weakness, muscular inefficiency, or just movement like scapulothoracic movement can also cause some subacromial impingement. So there's a wide array of options that can cause subacromial impingement, but essentially as you go to throw or as you come up into abduction, your head of the shoulder actually kind of doesn't sit down in the socket, but it kind of continues to move up, and that's what causes it to get pinched under that acromion here. So one of the things that can cause subacromial impingement in your throw is the malpositioning of the shoulder and the elbow, which is that inverted W that we talked about previously. So when that elbow gets up too high into abduction and internal rotation, you're getting a cranial migration of the humeral head inside the socket. So that humerus head is rising up, going towards your head, which is going to cause that subacromial impingement. So by having that elbow down and having your elbow on plane with the shoulder and not going up into more than 100 degrees of abduction, you're going to make your humerus have a much more free range of motion to be able to roll through without impinging any of the surrounding tissue. So when we go through, we want to make sure that when we get up here and we come out and around, that elbow stays at about 90 to 100 degrees of abduction. Another thing that can cause that cranial migration of the shoulder is an inefficient deceleration arc. So as you come through after you release the ball, if you don't have a number of factors, but if you don't have adequate internal rotation, if you don't have adequate hamstring flexibility to be able to get your chest forward, we're going to see some shrugging of the shoulder, because this is kind of the shoulder's mechanism of trying to slow the arm down if it doesn't have the adequate range to continue moving forward. So if you don't have the hamstring flexibility to allow your chest to come forward, you're kind of halting on that deceleration. That's going to be slamming your arm here because you don't have the range to be able to maximize the amount of time you can decelerate the arm. Same thing with the internal rotation. If your arm can only go right here, that's less time you have to decelerate. Your arm's going to kind of shrug up, causing that cranial migration again inside the socket and pinching that supraspinatus tendon under the acromion. So we're going to go into some exercises, strengthening and range of motion exercises that you can do to go ahead and maybe strengthen some of those rotator cuff muscles and parascapular musculature, as well as lengthening your hamstrings and your internal rotation and those posterior shoulder musculature.
If you're looking for the most comprehensive resource on training and rehabilitation of the throwing athlete, check out my book, Arm Alloy. The link is in the description. Now, back to the video.
So this is our exercise we'd like to use for some supraspinatus strengthening. So this is what we call our prayer rock back, full can Y to empty can reach. So we're going to go ahead and sit our butt back and bring our chest forward. We kind of want to bring our chest forward to the point where we're almost falling forward. All right, so we're adding in some stability here. We're going to go ahead and keep those thumbs up towards the ceiling. We're bringing the shoulders down, depressing them and retracting them. And then we're coming up into a Y, getting that good pinch, bringing the shoulders down. And then once we get to the top, we're going to go ahead and roll our thumbs underneath. We're going to go ahead and reach out, protract while keeping the shoulders down. And we're doing an eccentric on the way down. All right? So again, full can Y with depression and retraction. Internally rotate, protract, and then slow on the way down. All right, that's our good exercise we like to use for our supraspinatus strengthening. We'll go into some internal rotation stretching as well as hamstring flexibility. So for our internal rotation stretch, we're doing our sleeper stretch. We've already made a video on this and how to do it, so I'm not going to spend too much time here, but you're going to go ahead and slowly, lightly push the wrist down, making sure we're pinning the shoulder down towards the ground, making sure we're not putting that elbow up into that aberrant position or disadvantageous position where we're going to promote that cranial migration. Make sure we're down a little bit, even with the shoulder, and then slowly, lightly pushing the elbow or the wrist down towards the ground. So a hamstring stretch that we like to do, we made a ton of videos about different hamstring stretches that you can do. This is our favorite to go ahead and give to novice throwers who maybe are really super tight in their hamstrings. So you can do this in a doorway, on any standalone pillar that you can go ahead and lay next to and put your leg up. So you're gonna lay next to it, have the pillar at leg height. You're gonna go ahead and throw the foot up, make sure our butt is all the way up onto the wall. And then we're just resting here, making sure that we don't let this toe wing out, that we're keeping that leg straight. And we're just chilling out here, getting that good length of our hamstring here. So for your subacromial impingement, as you can see, there's a lot of different factors that can play a role into what may be causing that pain on the top of the shoulder. So you kind of have to get analyzed biomechanically to see maybe where in your throw you're promoting that cranial migration of the humerus. So you have to have specific biomechanical interventions, like the things that we do here at the Overhead Athletic Institute, to take a look and really get down to the deep roots of what is causing the pain. Outside of that, you can hit these exercises, the full can reach. You can go ahead and do that 3 sets of 10. Your stretches, your internal rotation sleeper stretch, you can hit that 30-second holds. Hit that stuff every day. Your hamstring stretch, 2 minutes each leg. Go ahead and hit those stretches every day. The full can, or your strength exercises, you can go ahead and hit 3 to 4 times a week. So hit that stuff in the meantime, but it doesn't matter how strong and flexible you are, if you're getting your arm into disadvantageous positions, you're going to continue to experience pain, which is why it's important to be looked at by a specialist and have individual biomechanical interventions done to go ahead and get your arm into the right position. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.